Oh, are we live? Oh, look at that little alarm going off. What's up, everybody? Happy friggin' Friday. It's not Friday, Junior. It is Friday. Coach Crystal coming at you live from my kitchen. I should have gotten something to put this thing on. It's a little bit short for my liking, and I don't love it. That's my bad. I should have been more prepared. But anyways, let's dive in this. So I wanted to pop on with a little bit of some food prep tips because this seems to be the biggest struggle I see from everybody. Like, I don't know what to eat. I don't have time to food prep. If you're trying to give yourself 8 hours of prepping your food on Sundays, like that's a no-go. That's unnecessary, you guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to say you need to be splitting things up to make your life easier so that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So with this, what I mean is you should have a running grocery list in your phone at all times that you simply have to update each week before you go grocery shopping, right? So maybe you're confirming with everybody else in your household, your significant other, your kids, whatever you got, hey, what do we want to eat next week? You have to make a plan for that. You can't just wing it and expect to be successful. So if you know what your grocery list is, then you can navigate the grocery store a lot easier. This will save you from spending a ton of extra money on shit that you know you don't need, right? Because you're going to stick to your list as best as possible. So for me, iPhone users, and I know Droid people, you obviously have this in some capacity, but I just use my Notes app and I have a running list and it's just called groceries. So I open up my grocery list. If you go to the bottom left-hand corner of that screen, once you've started one, there's a little thing that has bullets. So you can add in a bulleted list to a note, and that's what I have. So I've split it up by the grocery stores that I frequent. So first I've got Costco at the top, then I have all the things that I'm always buying at Costco. And then I've got my Walmart and King Soopers, which is Kroger for those of you who have a Kroger in your area, King Soopers, Kroger, whatever. Then I've got things that I buy specifically at Sprouts, things that I buy specifically at Trader Joe's. Again, I just have that running list going at all times. And so what I do is every time I go buy something, obviously, I check it off and close that bullet on the list. And every time I'm prepping my grocery list for the week, I'll go through and I'll start at the top. Do I need turkey breast? If I need turkey breast, then I'll uncheck it. So I know as I'm going through my list at the grocery store, I have to buy turkey breast. Okay. And I just keep going through the list. For example, right now I have Fairlife unchecked. I use the Fairlife protein shakes. Well, my husband uses them primarily, but I'll use them here and there. They don't always have them at Costco, right? So I did go to Costco yesterday to get my groceries. They didn't have it. So the Fairlife remains unchecked, okay? So with that, it means, well, the next time I go to Costco, I'm still going to know, hey, I didn't buy Fairlife last time, so I need to get it. Whereas yesterday, things that were unchecked before I went to the grocery store was eggs and egg whites. I needed to stock up on those things. Ooh, I love it, Renee. Thanks for loving the tip. So now I went to Costco yesterday and I closed those bullets on my list so that I know I already bought my eggs and my egg whites. So then the next time I go to Costco, I'll be able to look at my list. Okay, cool. Do I need eggs and egg whites? Let's just check my inventory in the fridge, see if I need to or not. Yes, Alyssa does it too. See, these are my ladies. They know what the hell is up. Okay, so that's the first step. You got to have the grocery list and stop rewriting a list every week in your planner or something. You're just wasting time. I know you're on your phone plenty. So just keep a running list on your phone because you're going to take it with you to the grocery store. You could easily update it. Literally you could be in your kitchen and be oh shit, we're out of egg whites. Open up that Notes app and uncheck the egg whites so that you know to buy it the next time you're at the store, right? So again, keep it organized by the different stores you frequent, and that should help you with setting up for success. So as you heard, I did that a couple days ago. I was already going through communicating with my husband. Hey, what do we need for groceries for the next week? What do you want to eat? Blah, blah, blah. What do I already have on hand? What are the things I have to buy? And so for there, I was able to easily go to the grocery store yesterday when I was out running errands, knowing that I wasn't going to waste a bunch of time at the store because I had a list to follow. I knew, hey, I need X, Y, and Z from Costco. I need this, that, and the other from Walmart or King Soopers, whichever I go to. I need this from Sprouts. So again, it keeps me very organized and on task. And again, I'm not wandering up and down the aisles. Oh, let's see what kind of bullshit Costco has for me today that I need. I don't need it. If it's not on my list, I don't need it. Again, saves time, saves money, saves you from having all these extra calories from some bullshit that you don't need in your house, right? Stick to the list as best you can. So from there, that's my first big tip. I planned my groceries on one day. I went and got groceries on another day. And now today I will do a little bit of food prepping, which is nothing too intensive, right? I'll probably actually do a little bit more over the weekend, simply because I want to make sure I have some things on hand that I'm going to freeze. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. So what are the things that we could be food prepping each week? Let's think of like the easiest items, you guys. Easy items like fresh, raw fruits and or vegetables. Okay. So right here, I've got my raspberries and my blackberries, my blueberries and my strawberries. All I do with my berries, when I get them home from the grocery store, I keep each of them in a separate bowl. So I've got this like stack of bowls here. Each berry gets a different bowl. I throw in a little bit of white vinegar. I then it's maybe like a 1/4 cup white vinegar. Then I fill it the rest of the way with cold water and I let those berries soak for about an hour. Okay. Then you drain them and rinse them. And then I put them in these special like berry bins that it's not that there's anything super special about them. It's that they have these little like breathable things at the bottom so that they're not getting all mushy or whatever. So that's the tip with the berries, like rinse them in the vinegar. I know it sounds weird, but it actually helps them to stay sweeter and fresher for longer. So if you do that immediately when you get home, like again, it's not going to go bad. It's not going to be like, oh, what do I do with this stuff? I know plenty of you have raw or fresh fruits and vegetables in the fridge that you simply let die in that drawer, right? You just do. We've all been there before. I refuse to waste food now. Like it's just not my thing. So you bet your ass that because I've cleaned them immediately, I'm that much more likely to be actually eating them throughout the week. Okay. Another one I can think of when it comes to fruits and veggies, since we're on that topic. Clearly I have plenty of food in my fridge to choose from. So if you want to make a quick salad and you're like, I don't want to like wash all this stuff and whatever, cool. We got coleslaw mix. This is like the easiest base for a salad. It's just coleslaw mix, you guys. It is cabbage, red cabbage, green cabbage, and carrots. That's it. It's already sliced and diced. You don't have to cut up any lettuce. Another tip, go buy just lettuce that's already chopped up. Here's the thing though, when you're buying like lettuce that's already chopped, it is going to cost more than if you were to buy just like the raw stuff and go through all the work yourself. Guess what? Time is money. Most of you do not have time to be wasting time cutting up a bunch of vegetables and stuff. I totally get that. But if you have something like this, all I do, what's the serving size on here? 85 grams. When you look at those nutrition facts, I throw 85 grams of coleslaw mix in a bowl. I then throw 85 grams of these carrot chips in a bowl. Okay, there's these little carrot chips. They look like fucking Ruffles, but guess what? They're a little bit better for you than Ruffles. And I throw 85 grams of these little tomatoes in a bowl. Call it a salad. That's literally all a salad is, you guys. It's just veggies and or fruits that you mix up. And then you're going to put like a protein with it, right? So again, that's your easy salad right here. Coleslaw mix, tomatoes, carrot chips. If you like other shit, great, put it in there. Maybe you want cucumber slices, mini bell peppers, whatever. This is my easy hack, my easy go-to for veggies. And again, serving size, if you look at the food labels, is typically 85 grams. My daily goal for fruits/vegetables is 800 total grams of fruits and veggies every day. So if I got 85 tomatoes, 85 carrots, 85 coleslaw in one salad, that's what? 255 grams of fruits and or veggies in just my single salad. That's a good dent into my 800 grams per day. And this is a hot tip because a lot of my clients, I give you at least 400 grams of fruits and veggies every single day. Why do we want the fruits and veggies? We want fiber. We want vitamins and minerals. We want to make sure we're having daily BMs. Bitch, if you ain't having 1 to 2 bowel movements per day, guess what? You're a hot mess and your body is not even in a space to even be trying to lose weight. So we need to bulk up that stool. We need to have our fruits and veggies, okay? So there's an easy one. Again, no work. I literally like rinse these in a colander, throw them in a bowl, and there's my salad that I just add in some dressing or some and some protein with, okay? Other one, raw baby carrots. Super simple, super easy. Again, a serving size of this is 85 grams. So you can measure out 85 grams. You can measure out 170 grams. Guess what? That's going to keep you a hell of a lot fuller than measuring out one serving of 12 potato chips, right? The difference is one serving of baby carrots is 30 calories. Okay. One serving of potato chips is probably like, I don't know, 170 calories if I had to guess. Okay. So again, you could eat 6 times, like you could eat 6 servings of baby carrots and you would feel absolutely miserable because that's way too much food. Like you would just be like, oh God, I'm so stuffed and I have so much fiber in me and this is rough. You can eat 6 servings of these versus 1 serving of 12 potato chips. Which one do you think is going to keep you fuller for longer? Which one do you think is going to help you to actually lose weight a little bit easier because you're not constantly starving from one meal to the next? Okay, if you're somebody who you don't love just plain vegetables, I totally get it, right? So something we could add to those, you could get a great dipping sauce or dressing of some sort. I love the Bolthouse Farms dressings for those of you who can handle dairy. So those ones are usually like 40, 45 calories in a serving. They have ranch, cilantro ranch, avocado ranch, salsa ranch, blue cheese, honey mustard, Thousand Island. There's a ton of different dressings. Google Bolthouse Farms dressings so you can figure out where to find them where you live. I am not Google. Go find Google, okay? Other options, if you're like, well, I don't want dressings or I don't want dipping sauces or I don't like those because some people don't, here's some that I really love. So I buy this truffle, Parmesan, and black garlic seasoning. I get this one at Costco because you guys know Costco's my bae. I use this with some of this Tony's Creole seasoning that I just buy wherever, like Walmart, Kroger, Albertsons, whatever. I like to sprinkle these on my veggies, like even just raw veggies. So freaking good. I promise you, if you like spicy at all, and if you like a little bit savory, like this is where it's at. And then it's not going to be the calories that you would get in the Bolthouse Farms or whatever, right? So 10 calories if you use an entire teaspoon of this Parmesan one. No big deal. And then 0 calories in like a 1/4 teaspoon of this. And it doesn't take much, you guys. A little bit goes a long way. Renee knows what's up. She uses the Bolthouse Farms. Okay. So those are some of your raw fruits and veggies. Now let's hop into other options. If you're like, it's just going to go bad, I'm not going to go through it. Well, one, don't let it go bad, right? Make sure that you're eating plenty of fruits and veggies and then they won't go bad. Literally, I have to stock up on like our berries and stuff every 5 days or so because my husband and I eat them every day. It's just a part of our daily diet. They taste good. They're diverse. You can throw them in with a bunch of different things and they give you a good amount of fiber. So with these, what can you put the berries in? You can put it in oatmeal. You can put it in Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, overnight oats. You could just eat them plain, like berries just plain. They taste freaking good, you guys. If you don't think your berries taste sweet, well, one, try the vinegar tip. But 2, it's probably because you're eating a bunch of other processed, hyper-palatable bullshit that is claiming to be food. If fruit does not taste sweet to you, you got a problem. Start eating more real whole foods. And while I'm at it, I almost forgot, we also have our bag of apples that I picked up the other day. So we like Pink Lady. Do whatever you want. I don't give a shit what kind of apples you want to eat whatever. I like to slice mine up and sprinkle them with a little bit of salt. I've literally stumbled upon that back when I was a teacher. One of my teaching partners, she salted her apples and I was like, that is so weird. And then I tried it and I was like, hell yeah, this is the move. I love this. So now I always salt my apple slices. Okay. So that was some raw stuff. Now let's get into other options like frozen options. So I always keep these on hand because we do a lot of traveling, right? Like my husband and I are on the go, whether it's for work or play. We are traveling all the time, usually at least once a month, if not 2 or 3 times a month. So I keep frozen fruits and veggies on hand for, if we get back late on a Sunday night and we don't have time to go get groceries. And, we also fly standby a lot. So it's very likely that we're not even going to get home at the time we wanted to get home. So we have to have things on hand. So this just happened to us actually this last Sunday. We didn't get home until like 6 p.m. or something. Thank goodness I had some frozen stuff to get us through the couple of days before I could get groceries. So I have frozen strawberries. I have frozen blueberries. Again, I buy these just at Costco. You can buy them wherever, but I'm a Costco whore. They have a frozen berry blend. There's tons of good options. And so I was able to easily just throw those into some oatmeal so that I could start my day with a good fibrous breakfast right away on Monday, along with protein, which we'll talk about here soon. Other frozen veggies, frozen green beans, frozen broccoli, frozen riced cauliflower. So simple. Let me show you how I food prep these. Okay, so we take these green beans, we throw them in a bowl. These are still frozen, you guys. Cool. I just put some green beans in a bowl, and now I'm going to just let them thaw. They're going to thaw on my counter the rest of the day so that in case I need them later, I'm good to go. But if you're like on a Sunday or something and you just want to thaw these in the fridge overnight, thaw them in the fridge overnight. Cool. Now I have green beans to get me through a few days. All right. Oh, what do I do with the broccoli? I'm so glad you asked. One, you could steam it. Okay. If you're buying these ones from Costco, these are steamer bags. You pop them in the microwave for like 6 minutes or something and it steams it. Guess what? I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. Where's all my freaking bowls? Losing my marbles here, you guys. I swear I had a bowl. Anyways, okay, we're gonna throw it in here. So here's my broccoli. That's all the food prep it takes for the broccoli. That's it. Literally, throw it in a bowl. Put on a lid. Whoa, look at that. I already have a couple different veggies to get me through next week. Isn't that awesome? And for the weekend. I'll actually eat these throughout the weekend. I promise you I'll need to get a bit more of them because, you know, my husband and I, we eat a lot of vegetables. So broccoli, green beans, boom. Now this one, I also have regular rice cauliflower. I just don't need that this week. I'm just going to use this organic cauliflower stir fry. So again, rice cauliflower stir fry, my bad. So again, I buy this one at Costco. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut open this bag. You guys, you just see how just, oh my God, it's just taking so much effort and energy. I'm exhausted from all this food prepping I'm doing. But as you can see, I already have 3 veggies now prepped to get me through at least this weekend. And if you're starting this for next week, guess what? You could have some veggies to get you going throughout the week. Is this going to last you the entire week? No, this isn't that much. But again, since they're frozen, I can just take off a little bit that I need, make sure like, oh yeah, that looks, this bowl's full. Once the bowl looks like it's getting empty, I'll thaw some more, right? I'll get another bag of broccoli. I'll empty out some more green beans. It's so freaking simple, you guys. You just have to have the things on hand because that is what I see you struggling with. It's like, oh, I ran out of XYZ. Oh, I ran out of my fresh berries. Why don't you have frozen shit on hand for those instances when that happens? Like if you know you're not buying enough stuff to get you through the week, have frozen things on hand, or guess what? You might have to go to the grocery store multiple times throughout the week. I don't know about you. I don't really have a whole ton of time for that. So that's why I keep the frozen things on hand at all times so that when I run out of the fresh stuff, I've then got the frozen stuff to at least get me through until I'm going to go to the store again. Okay. So that covers our frozen veggies, our raw veggies, our frozen and raw fruits. Now let's dive into a new one. Okay. Let's talk about our carbs. We need carbs, you guys. Okay. Yes, fruits and vegetables are carbs. I need you to understand that. Carbs are not a bad thing. Carbs are a fuel source. You need them, but we need different kinds of carbs. We need fruits and vegetables for all those micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, the fiber, all the good stuff. We need carbs too, you guys, from like potatoes and breads and grains and pastas, all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with carbs. So please stop demonizing them. And I'll do this on a different day. I'll show you guys all about net carbs. Stop looking at the bullshit net carbs. Do not track net carbs in your MyFitnessPal. Do not look at the net carbs on a food label. That's too much of a topic. We'll do it some other day. But basically, read the food label. They're lying to you. They're trying to tell you there's like 60 calories in your tortilla. Literally, there's double that many calories because they're trying to pretend that net carbs are not a thing. It's not a thing. All carbs count. Anyways, again, we'll do that later. So what am I doing for carbs this week? I'm doing potatoes. I'm doing sweet potatoes. I'm doing rice. And I might do some oatmeal. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if you have an Instant Pot, amazing. I've just helped solve so many problems for you. Okay. Instant Pot right back here in the background. This morning, I got up. In the mornings, I do like 30 minutes of education before I do anything. However, I was waiting for my dog to go outside and go potty. So what did I do? I peeled my sweet potatoes. So all I do, I peel my sweet potatoes. I throw them in the Instant Pot. I put in a cup of water and then I let them cook, like just pressure cook. I hit it for manual 20 minutes and then I let it do a slow release. If you're familiar with an Instant Pot, all this makes sense. If you're not familiar with an Instant Pot, this is again exactly what you do. You put in the potatoes after you've peeled them. You put in a cup of water. You seal the pot. You hit manual 20 minutes and you let it go and do its thing. Okay. So then once they were done cooking, I took them out and I mashed them up in a bowl. That's it. Literally just mash them up in a bowl. So then what do I like to add to my sweet potatoes? I like to do salt and I like to do cinnamon. Okay. That's what I enjoy. You can put whatever the hell you want in yours. I don't really care. I love salt and cinnamon in mine. And again, they're just mashed up. And so now throughout the week, when I need some carbs to add into my meals, I can just measure out 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams of sweet potatoes, and I've got these easy, convenient carbs ready to go. Then once those were done cooking, I did the same thing with just some Yukon potatoes. Okay. Yukon potatoes in the Instant Pot, same thing. 20 minutes on manual, mash it up. But with these, I add in a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic salt. And then I also like to add in some unsweetened almond milk in there as well, just to give it a better texture. For whatever reason, these potatoes they're not quite as like creamy, I suppose, or mashy, if you will, when I go to mash them up compared to the sweet potatoes. So again, I do add in a little bit of milk in this. The almond milk, it's such an insignificant amount. It's literally like maybe 15 calories worth split up amongst, a ton of servings of mashed potatoes. So again, now I've got sweet potatoes and regular potatoes for me and my husband to just throw into meals throughout the week as needed. Okay. That took no work, you guys. I literally put them in the Instant Pot while my dog was going potty and I had to wait for her to come inside anyways. And then they cooked while I was going and doing my education that I do every morning. So multitasking, making sure we're not wasting time. We're being efficient with our time. You could cook the potatoes while you're doing laundry, while you're going for a walk, while you're listening to a podcast, while you're working, if you work from home, right? Very, very easy to just do these things. You said it, forget it, let's go, okay? Other things we can have on hand, we like to have our quick oats. So literally just some oatmeal, again, buy mine at Costco, big old batch of it, cooks in, 60 seconds in the microwave. You could also use this for overnight oats. Overnight oats are my jam. I freaking love them. However, I'm not eating dairy right now, so I'm not having them because the overnight oats that I make have cottage cheese and protein powder and oats and berries. So anyways, I love that you love the potato tips, Jonna. Again, it's all about making your life as simple as possible, you guys. If the food is simple and already there and all you have to do is throw shit on a plate and call it a meal, you're good to go, right? So I'm gonna put these back. Yeah, oatmeal cooks in 60 seconds. It does not take a long time. It cooks in 60 seconds in your microwave. Don't make it hard. You have your oatmeal, you throw in some berries, whether those are raw or frozen, totally up to you. And then if you're me, I like to have mine with egg whites that I make in the microwave as well. Let me show you that. I make egg whites in these easy egg witch things that you can buy on Amazon. Literally go to Amazon and search easy egg witch. You spray it, you pour in your egg whites, you season it with, for me, I do cinnamon when I'm mixing them with oatmeal, and it cooks in 3 minutes. If you're doing, I'll do 4 servings of egg whites, which will give me 20 grams of protein. So again, you can do egg whites with your oatmeal. You could do Greek yogurt. You could do cottage cheese. You could simply do a protein shake, whatever. But we need to be eating fucking food for breakfast, you guys. Stop hitting up the Starbucks drive-thru and wasting all of your calories on a 400-calorie mocha frappuccino bomb and a crappy little breakfast sandwich or some sous vide egg bites that are literally giving you a very small amount of protein and a fuck ton of calories, and you're going to be hungry soon after anyways. Let's eat real food. Oatmeal, berries, plus egg whites or Greek yogurt or a protein shaker, cottage cheese, whatever, but eat some food for breakfast, okay? So other tips, if you don't want to buy the big thing of oatmeal, you can buy these little 100-calorie packs. I buy the Better Oats 100-calorie packs. They're super simple. Rip it off, pour it in a bowl, add your water, throw it in the microwave, 60 seconds. It does not have to take forever to eat food, you guys. Okay. So those are some carbs. Now I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to show you rice. Why? Because I got some people struggling with understanding how to do rice. And I am going to actually put a reel out about this as well. But for now, let's show you guys what we got going on. So this goes for if you're cooking rice, if you're cooking pasta, whatever. With rice, I don't care what rice you're looking at. Typically, when you're looking at any sort of raw rice like this, again, mine's from Costco, on the back, it'll say the serving size is a 1/4 cup dry or 45 grams. So that means a serving size would be a 1/4 cup dry before you cook it. Or if you're weighing it on your food scale, which that is what you should be doing, it is 45 grams. Okay. So what I did this morning is I made 5 servings based on this nutrition facts of rice. I don't necessarily want to eat the 45 grams of dry rice every time that I'm going to eat rice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big batch of rice, and I'm going to then be able to just measure out different amounts based on whatever I want and whatever meal I want, basically based on the amount of carbs that I need. So I did 5 servings. So a quarter cup is 45 grams. So if I did 5 servings and a serving is 45, let's do our math there. 5 times 45 is, please do the math if you need to, 225. So I'm going to measure out 225 grams of raw rice. So let's pretend I'm doing that. Okay. I'll measure out 225 grams of raw rice, which is equivalent to 1 1/4 cups of dry rice as well, right? Because we know a serving size is 1/4 cup or 45 grams. So 5 servings is 5/4 cups or 225 grams. I hope that makes sense. And the reason I'm even telling you about the cups is because when I'm cooking rice, I usually do a 2-to-1 ratio of water to rice. So since I did 1 1/4 cups of rice, I'm going to do 2.5 cups of water. Okay. So again, here, this is another simple one and why you're going to love that friggin' Instant Pot if you don't already have one. So got my Instant Pot. I threw in my 1 1/4 cups or 225 grams of dry rice. Okay. In my Instant Pot. Then I added in my 2.5 cups of water. So here's where we're going to walk through my FitnessPal. So tutorial coming at you. If you want to learn how to do this rice and pasta thing, please follow along with me right now. You're going to open up my FitnessPal. You're going to go to the bottom right-hand corner. You're going to hit the 3 dots where it says more. You're then going to scroll to My Meals, Recipes, and Foods. You're then going to create a recipe. I'm going to pause. Okay, hopefully you're catching on with that. Great. Now you're going to enter ingredients manually. We're going to add it in. We're going to call this rice. Woo, crazy, right? Rice. And it's going to be in my recipes. So I'm always going to be able to go find that in my recipes. For the servings, I'm going to say 1. Because right now, all I care about is that I'm making 1 big batch of this thing. Okay. We'll get to what your servings will be later on. But initially, you're going to put in the title. You're going to put in the servings as 1. And then you're going to hit that right arrow at the top of the screen. And it's going to pop up with add ingredient, edit ingredients. You're going to add ingredient. Okay. If you're just following along with me and you don't actually have a label to scan right now, totally cool. You're just going to like type in rice, whatever. Like I'll tell you what to type in based off of mine. It's Lundberg, Lundberg, short grain, brown rice. Lundberg, short grain, brown rice. I'm going to search for it. If you were doing this and you had like your labels and stuff and you're following along, you've got something to scan, you could just scan the barcode on your rice packet and hopefully it'll pop up. Okay. So now I'm going to look to see, I need to find one of the options for rice that is 150 calories, 1.5 fat, 35 carbs, and 3 protein. Luckily for me, it happens to be the very first option and it has a green check mark. But here's the thing, guys. I don't do things like when it popped up, it's showing me that the serving size is a 1/2 cup. Nope, I don't want to do that. Okay. I don't want to measure things in cups. Cups and tablespoons are very non-specific. Okay. So where it says serving size at the top, I know this is like super hard to see, but it says serving size at the top, 0.5 cup. I'm going to click on that and see all these other options pop up that are not the cups, right? You've got 1/2 cup, 1 container, 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. You want to look for 1 gram or 1 milliliter. Okay. Grams and milliliters are interchangeable. Okay. Either one is going to be the same exact thing. For whatever reason, on this particular entry that I have found, it doesn't have grams. It only has milliliters. So I could do that, or I could go back out. I could exit out. I'm going to exit out so that I can, again, be following along. And I can go back and instead look to see, is there a different rice that I can look for that comes up with that grams entry that I want to see? So I'm going to click the second one below it. Okay. Second one below it, serving size on this one is 0.2 cup dry. I'm going to click on that 0.2 cup dry. And wouldn't you know it, it just took a little bit more work, just a teeny bit more work. But now I've got something that gives me grams as an option. I've got 0.2 cups dry, 1 cup dry, 45 grams, or 1 gram. Okay. Hopefully you were able to find an option like that as well. So I'm going to select 1 gram. And then I'm going to hit the check mark at the top right corner. Okay. And so now I can put in for my number of servings of dry rice. Again, how many did I use? I did 45 grams times 5. I did 225 grams. So now we're going to change the number of servings of this dry rice to 225. Cool. Now at the top, there's an arrow, there's a confirm ingredient, and there's a check mark. Dope. I'm going to hit the check mark. Okay. Now, if you want to add in the water, you totally can. Like, this will help you probably if you're like going to make this recipe in the future. Water doesn't have any calories or anything, so it's not a big deal. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add ingredient. I'm going to just type in water, search. I know that I used 2.5 cups. So I'm literally just going to put in 2.5 cups on this one because doesn't really matter. Like I said, it's 0 calories, all the things I think we all know by now. Water doesn't have any calories. All right. But I'm going to put it in to remind myself, oh, I used this many grams of rice. I used this much water when I go to make this recipe in the future, because it's just going to help me to follow the recipe again. Right. So we're going to check that. Okay. And so now we've got our 2 ingredients in our recipe. Now you're going to go click that arrow at the top right to like finish making this recipe. And you'll see it says save recipe, title is rice, servings is 1, calories is 750, blah, 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 all these things. Okay. Good. That's we're going to save it right there. We're just going to press save. Okay. We're going to come back to that here in a moment. So like I said, I already made this rice. So what I'm going to do, this is my container I'm going to empty my rice out in. Here's my food scale. I'm going to put this on my food scale, turn it on, make sure it shows 0, make sure it's on the setting of grams as the unit. And now I'm going to take my pot of rice. I'm going to grab this spoon and I'm literally just going to pour it in the bowl to see how much the end cooked product weighs. Okay. So this is obviously going to weigh more than the 225 grams of dry rice that I started off with, because it has now absorbed all of the water, and water weighs something, right? The water didn't just like sneak out and go somewhere. The water got cooked into the rice. And so now this rice went from being 225 grams when it was raw to now being 782 grams cooked. I'm being lazy. Looking at my fingers. You're welcome. Okay. So 782 grams cooked rice. So now I go back into that rice recipe. Okay. Here it is at the top of my recipes. I'm simply going to click on it. I'm going to edit recipe. I'm not going to touch any of the ingredients. The ingredients are all still the same. Now I'm going to hit that arrow at the top right. And now it says rice, 1 serving. Nope, it is no longer 1 serving. We're now going to use the total amount of cooked grams as the number of servings of this rice. So it is 782 grams. Rice, 782. Here's where people get stuck. They're like, well, Crystal, it can't be that. It shows that it's only 1 calorie. There's 0 fat. There's 0.2 carbs. There's 0 protein. Yes, because 1 serving is just 1 gram. The entire thing is 782 grams. What if you wanted to eat? Well, let's stop there. You just save it. Okay. 782 grams, the total cooked weight. We press save. We're done with that. So now you're going to go into your food log. Okay. So go back to your home screen, go back to log food. And let's say you want to put this rice into your food diary. So let's say we're going to put in meal 2. We're going to add food at whatever meal you want to. You're going to go over to, it says all my meals, my recipes, my foods. You're going to click on my recipes. You're going to click on rice. And now you're going to put however much freaking rice you want in. You don't have to do just 1 serving size according to the label. You could put in 100 grams. Okay. Put in 100 grams. See that? It says serving size, number of servings, meal. Okay. If you put in 100 grams, then it's 96 calories. It's 22 carbs, 1 fat, 1.9 protein. Let's say you don't need that much. You're like, oh, I only need like 10 more carbs today. Great. Change your number of servings to 50. Okay. And all of a sudden, oh, cool. That's better. That gives me 11.2 carbs. It gives me only 48 calories. That's great, right? You could put in 200 grams of rice. Okay. Like, it's all about making it so simple so that you could put in whatever amount of rice you want to in a meal. You're now not stuck with whatever a quote unquote serving size is on the label. So again, this helps you just easily be able to rip this out. So here's the thing. Let's pretend you make this rice every single week. Great. Like, just follow the exact same instructions, and you don't even have to keep weighing it every time if you don't want to. You just know, hey, this is my recipe. I make rice every week. I do 225 grams of raw rice. I do 2.5 cups of water. Cool. You can just keep using that rice recipe for forever, for as long as you keep eating the freaking rice. It's so freaking simple. So, okay, that was a nice long lesson, but now you see, we've got rice, we've got mashed potatoes, we've got mashed sweet potatoes, we've got oatmeal, got lots of good carb sources to get us through the next several days. All right. Beautiful. Do you feel good about carbs? I hope so, because it's not like anybody's talking to me right now anyways. I'm sure you guys have fallen off. But anyways, what are some other easy foods we can throw in? I like to do like just nuts for fats, right? So I've got some pistachios here. I freaking love pistachios. You guys, these are the GOAT. Like, I know everybody thinks like, oh, almonds, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how almonds got like so fucking hype, but with almonds, I could just like eat a handful. Whereas with pistachios, I like have to measure these out. And then I have to do some work, right? I have to like unshell them, and it slows me down. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, this is so much easier when you put in a barrier, like opening the freaking shell so that you're not like potentially overeating. Because you guys, just because almonds are quote unquote healthy or any other nut or whatever, it doesn't mean that those calories don't add up really fast. The thing with nuts is, again, these are fats. They're healthy fats. Like, please eat nuts. There's nothing wrong with them at all. It's just that the calories add up so fast because when it comes to fats, they have more than double the amount of calories compared to proteins and carbs. Proteins and carbs, for every gram of protein and carb you have, you get 4 calories. But for every gram of fat you have, you get 9 calories. So again, more than double the amount of calories when you're eating things like nuts or nut butter or butter. And so that's an easy hack too, is if you're somebody who's really struggling to get in enough calories, add some fats in, right? Like, cook with oil, cook with butter, have fattier cuts of meat or fattier dairy products, have some nuts, whatever, but things to get those calories up pretty easily without it making you feel like super freaking full. So anyways, nuts. I also like to do things like almond butter, nutso. Okay, so this stuff I got at Costco because somebody recommended it. It's okay. It's whatever. Whatever. I just like to use fattier cuts of meat usually. And then like peanut butter. If you're somebody who's like on a calorie deficit and you're trying to cut your calories down, then yeah, you might want to go with like a powdered peanut butter so you can still get that peanut butter flavor, whether it's in your oatmeal, your cottage cheese, your Greek yogurt, or protein shakes or whatever. So again, powdered peanut butter is great if you're trying to cut down on your calories because you're in a calorie deficit. Regular nut butters, much better, excuse me, if you're struggling to get in enough calories, which is something I see a lot from our ladies in their like maintenance and reverse diet phases. Okay. So these are like diet foods, which whatever, sometimes we need them when we're low calories. These are the types of things we should be eating more often. Okay. All right. So now let's finish it up with some proteins. So easy proteins to have on hand. Here's the thing. I'm going to show you one that I want you to have like in those emergency instances, or if you're just somebody who's like super struggling to get in protein. Here's my disclaimer. With all of my clients, I tell them no more than a max of 2 protein supplements per day. So that means if you're having a high protein oatmeal, okay, like for instance, I like to use these Creatures of Habits when I travel. Creatures of Habits, meal 1. These are plant-based, gluten-free, just easy oatmeal packs that, again, I can just add some hot water to from a coffee pot when I'm traveling. But like, this is a protein supplement, okay? I want you eating real food most of the time. So things like a protein oatmeal, protein powder, a fucking protein bar, which is absolutely like disgusting. They don't taste good, you guys. Just eat a candy bar. They don't taste good and they wreak havoc on your gut. But we want to have a max of 2 of those protein powders or supplements or whatever per day. The rest of your protein should be coming from real whole foods. And again, these should be used as like emergency case situations, or like, hey, Crystal, I'm just so busy. I got these kids. I got this job. Like, cool. Sometimes you just need to have it. Okay. So protein powder, great option. I use Legion. Right now, I'm only using the plant-based proteins simply because of some dietary protocols of trying to eliminate dairy right now. But otherwise, I love their whey protein. Okay, so this is an easy one to have on hand. You can make a protein shake. You can throw this in a big ass smoothie in the mornings. You can add this into Greek yogurt, cottage cheese. That'll give you a lot more bang for your buck to get in protein. Because realistically, you guys, plenty of you should be aiming for anywhere from probably like 120 to 150 grams of protein per day. Then you're going to need to have like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner where you're having 50 grams of protein in each of those meals. Stop it with the high protein snacks. It's so stupid. Stop the high protein snacks. Keep eating real food and real meals that satisfy you, because I was just talking about this yesterday. I see people all the time who are having like 500 calorie snacks and their breakfast is 200 calories. Stop that shit. Quit snacking. Snacking is keeping you fat. So protein powder is a good one to have on hand. Egg whites, these are the GOAT. I literally eat 250 grams of egg whites every single day for breakfast. I just throw it in my skillet here. Super easy, ceramic coated, non-stick skillet. Pour it in here. I don't need any grease or anything. I put in I use the grease from bacon because I use like 14 grams of bacon in it, and some spinach and some everything but the bagel seasoning. Great, awesome. We've got our egg whites, all the fun stuff. It just cooks and simple. If you, again, don't have time to be like cooking in a pan like me, get these easy egg witches. I promise you, they're a game changer. You'll have your eggs ready in 3 minutes or less. Other protein options. We got beef. Okay, so I got the organic ground beef here. This is going to be higher in fat. Okay, so typically like these organic ground beefs and stuff, they're going to be higher in fat. But that's okay for me. I can have that in my macros right now. If you are somebody who is like in a calorie deficit, you're probably going to want to look for a leaner ground beef. I get this one at Costco. They also have like their 8812 ground beef at Costco. That just refers to the fat content, you guys. So 8812, that's what my husband eats like pretty much all the time. If I'm in a cutting phase and I'm like trying to get a ton of food volume and I want as much as possible, I'm usually going to be looking for a leaner beef like 96.4 or 93.7. Okay. Again, it's going to mean less fat, higher protein, and less calories. So anyways, right now I'm doing these. I've also got a lean ground chicken. So literally all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the ground chicken into this pan. I'm going to cook it up. I'm going to season it with some easy shit. Salt, pepper, garlic. Okay. Or you could just not season it at all. Salt, pepper, garlic. These are my booze. These go on all my veggies pretty much when I'm cooking them. Goes on all my meats when I'm cooking them, whatever. Ground chicken with some of this. Or I could do like some of this taco seasoning. Do whatever seasoning you want, or don't do any seasoning at all and then add shit to it later. So all I do, I throw the beef in, I throw the chicken in, I cook that, I put it in a bowl. I throw the beef in, I cook that, chicken in throw it in a bowl. And where is my food? Oh, right in front of me. So I already did that this week. This is what I did at the beginning of the week. I cooked up some beef, threw it in a bowl, cooked up some ground turkey, threw it in a bowl. That's it. So freaking easy. And now I just portion out however much I need when I go to throw shit in a bowl and call it a meal. Okay. It does not have to be complicated. You just have to have them cooked and ready to go. And quit your bitching about like, oh, I can't eat the same thing. Okay. So like cook up the entire batch of the beef or the chicken or whatever, but maybe you freeze half of it, right? Put it in a Ziploc bag and freeze it. And then later on, you can pull it out of the freezer and thaw it much easier than having to cook it again. And if you're, again, like, oh, I can't do the same stuff. Okay, change up your seasonings. You could do the salt, pepper, garlic. You could do an Italian seasoning. You could do taco seasoning. You could do different sauces and stuff, right? You could have Bolthouse Farms dressings. You can have Laughing Cow cheeses. You can have grated Parmesan cheese. You can have salsa, right? Think about how to be creative with your food. You can make taco salads with any of these. So you got ground beef, ground chicken, ground turkey. Make a taco salad, make a wrap, make tacos, make pasta one night, make spaghetti, like make spaghetti squash, add whatever. It's so freaking simple, you guys. You're just overcomplicating it, okay? And then other easy options. If you love the rotisserie chicken from Costco, which I don't know who doesn't, because that shit is the bomb. This is a lifesaver. So recently I had a client and I was like, dude, just buy the rotisserie chicken that's already hand pulled at Costco. She's like, oh, but it's more expensive. One, you have to go through all the work of like peeling off that chicken, and there's way more calories in the rotisserie chicken that you buy, because I don't know if you've ever seen the bottom of that little dish, but there's a crap ton of like butter and oil and stuff in there. And then you've got the skin on there, and all that just has extra calories. If you just go buy this, they already did all the work for you. And so you're going to get 15 servings out of this guy. And I want to say I paid like $13 for it or something. 15 servings of getting 20 grams of protein in a single serving. So again, you could double it up and you could have 40 grams of protein if you just had 6 ounces of this. Throw that on top of a salad, easy to go. No cooking, no muss, no fuss. You literally just, it doesn't get easier. You cut open this bag and you pour it on top of whatever. Just pull out however much freaking chicken you need, and one serving gets you 20 grams. So those are my easy protein options for you. I know this was super long. I apologize. I hope it was helpful, but I just wanted to go through showing you guys this is how easy it can be. You don't have to make complicated recipes. You have single ingredient foods and you put them together to call them meals. So what I can do, what's my protein at my breakfast? Okay. And then I'm going to like figure out, how do I get a bunch of protein? You want to probably aim for anywhere from about 30 to 50 grams of protein in your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, depending on what your protein goal is, like I said earlier. So for me, I'm going to say, all right, how much egg whites and all this other stuff do I need to put in there to get at least 30 and even up to 50 grams of protein in that breakfast? Then with lunch, maybe I do it with my chicken here. Okay. How much of this do I need to get? Anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of protein in my lunch. Cool. Log it in MyFitnessPal. Then with my dinner, okay, great. How much of this beef do I need to get 30 to 50 grams of protein? Pre-log it in MyFitnessPal, good to go. So once you've done your protein in your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, then we're going to build onto it. Okay, what's the plant source I'm going to have with it? Okay, so if I'm having egg whites for breakfast, maybe I'm also going to have berries. Cool. If I'm having my chicken for lunch, maybe I'm also going to have one of those coleslaw salads I told you about. Great, there's my plants. Okay. At dinner, okay, I'm having my ground beef. Maybe I'm going to have my green beans, and maybe I'll even have some of this broccoli as well, right? I'll have some green beans and broccoli. That gives me a couple servings of veggies. Dope. Now I've got a blueprint. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Protein, protein, protein. Plant, plant, plant. Now we can build from there. Okay, to go along with my berries and egg whites that I'm going to have for breakfast, I'll have some freaking oatmeal. Awesome. There's my carb, giving me more calories. Ooh, but that's not enough. I need a bigger breakfast. I need like 500 calories to make sure I'm getting a good dent in my day. All right, throw in some almond butter, okay? Whatever. Second meal, we're moving on to our lunch. We've got our chicken. We've got our salad here. Okay, maybe I have a side of sweet potatoes, or maybe I have a bagel or a piece of toast or an English muffin. Or some rice, right? Have a side of rice, or I like to even throw rice on my salad. It doesn't bother me at all, okay? And then for dinner, I had my ground beef, I had my broccoli, my green beans, and now I'm gonna add in maybe some mashed potatoes, maybe some rice, whatever. That's literally how you go through and you build out your meals, you guys. So we did have some awesome stuff in here. Jonna says, nope, I like tips and tricks. Renee says, peanuts in the shell are my jam, but you don't get as many as I would normally eat. Yeah, it's tough. Jonna says, I try to stick to one supplement each day too. Kat says, love my Legion powder. And Morgan, Coach Morgan says, P.S. Legion is BOGO right now. Yes, it is, you guys. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to wrap it up. Please, if you have more questions, comments, or feedback, drop them. If you want to DM me, please feel free to. If you want to find me on Instagram and chat with me over there, I'm usually better at responding over there than I am on like Facebook Messenger. So it's Crystal Caffeine and Carbs. Just do crystal.caffeine and I'm sure I will pop up right away. But anyways, if this stuff is helpful, let me know. I hope that it is. I hope you're having an amazing start to your weekend, right? I'm gonna hope that you're already starting the weekend by the time you're watching this. If you need anything, let me know. Okay, thanks, y'all.